Welcome to this series on Jumpstart Your Sobriety, Your Recovery Process. My name is Raul, and I am
the Wolf Counselor.
Merging Sobriety and Intelligence. Stick around until the end for more information on how you can access the full length of this series. This is episode 1, and we're going to be talking today about motivation. A side note before I get into that, people often ask me, why are you doing this? What is your purpose? What is the goal here? If you're not familiar with what we do, what kind of content we put out there, I'm an addiction counselor by trade, 16 years, 17 this November, thanks be to God. And even though I have regular employment at a rehabilitation center, I've become aware through statistics and research that there's a large percentage of folks that will never step in to an outpatient program or rehab at that. The main challenge we have still today is the stigma around addiction and what it means to be an addict or an alcoholic. In fact, more people get clean and sober on their own than people that go into a program. And I created this podcast series so that you can benefit from those principles and 17 years of accumulated experience and fundamental methods that have helped people reach long-term sobriety. So now let's get into this episode titled Motivation. Questions you need to be asking yourself right now is, how can I get motivated to get clean and sober? And how does motivation work? Most people think that motivation is this positive form of energy that comes from within. People often think of motivation for losing weight, right? As this energy, this idea, this this pep in your step to achieve that goal. Or they use it in reference of, I'm motivated to go back to school right now or find another job, and only view motivation as a positive energy. However, motivation really is energy. It's fuel or drive to accomplish anything for specific reasons. Regardless of where it comes from, or if it's positive or negative, it is a driving force. So I really need everyone to view it this way. It's a driving force, doesn't have to be positive, doesn't have to feel good. Just to plant some things in your mind, I want you to ask yourself this question on the slide here, and that is, which is more difficult? Staying sober or getting sober or clean? You could interchange that word. Write your answer down. I would strongly recommend you take some notes down here. And also, don't forget to download the free worksheet. The link is in the description below. It is in a PDF format. You can download as many as you want, as long as you don't alter the sheet. You can give it to anyone. You could use it for anything. Just please, if you decide to put it into some type of treatment program or use this with your sponsees or anything like that, please just give credit to where credit is due. I work really hard at this. Thank you. And since we're talking about drugs and alcohol, what motivates people to get clean and sober? There are two sides of motivation here. And on one side, you have the external circumstances. Those are influences outside of yourself. And then you have the internal concerns or internal influences from within. And both, I'm going to explain to you exactly how this works. And as you're able to see on the slide in front of you, external motivators range from legal issues such as DUIs, custody, possession charges. School is another area of motivators, whether it's poor performance, and that's going to cost you money, family issues, relationship problems, those tend to be strong motivators. Lower right side, health, physical health, and this is where a person is likely facing some physical consequences if they continue to use or drink, and a doctor or family member are saying, look, you look really sick. Unless you stop, XYZ is going to happen. Work issues are pretty significant. Financial stressors. If you lose your job, you won't be able to provide for yourself and your family. And some people believe that that is the last straw to hold on to whenever it comes to admitting whether they're an alcoholic or not, is I'm able to perform at work, therefore it's not a problem. Moving forward to the next slide, this is looking at internal motivators such as self-esteem. Right to the right side of that is self-concept. The difference between the two is that self-esteem are boosting confidence via activities that you do that help you feel more accomplished, such as losing a ton of weight or buying the house of your dreams, getting the job of your dreams, driving the car of your dreams, right? Where self-concept is really looking at the way you view yourself. People can have self-confidence, self-esteem, but have poor self-concept about themselves. And that is oftentimes widely associated with not being comfortable with drinking or drug use. Religious upbringing or spiritual background, this could definitely motivate people to want to stop drinking. Health problems is here, and as you notice, it was also in the external. The difference is this one is looking at what someone may have lost because of drinking or drug use. Maybe an individual is the type of person that used to be self-conscious or health conscious, really paid attention to how they ate, sleeping well, exercise, that sort of thing. And because of alcohol and drug use, now that is no longer a priority, and they're starting to feel the weight of that. Emotional wellness actually goes along with health, but I separated it for a reason because there are some folks that are really driven to get clean and sober because emotionally they're frustrated, they're upset, they're depressed, they're anxious, and those are factors that can help people to stop alcohol or drug use. So based on this information here so far, which do you think that has a greater impact on people or is likely to lead people to succeed, internal or external? Take a moment to think about that. All right, don't be too quick to answer. Just give it some thoughts. And I'll tell you the answer. So really to break the question down for you a little further, do you believe that people that do this for internal reasons are more likely to succeed or people that do it for the external reasons? The answer is both. And don't pay attention to that number there. That doesn't really mean much. I just did this for the sake of explaining to you that it doesn't matter where it comes from. People who do it for the internal reasons are equally as successful as those that do it for the external. Now, I know oftentimes people will say, you need to do this for yourself. You need to, do this because you want it. But the reality is there are a lot of people that don't want this. And the only reason they do it is because of the external factors. If you're a family member, you're listening to this, I want you to get off their back, okay, in a sense. And what I mean is don't stop saying that they need help. But stop telling them why it is that they need the help or what reasons they ought to be doing this for. If they say they're going to do it for their work or they're going to do it for their relationship, let it be. The time will come where that is going to change. So be patient with that part. So again, it's not about where the motivation comes from. It's about how strong is it, okay? How powerful is it? And how long can that last? We're going to get to the core of motivation, and it has a lot to do with these three factors. The strength of the motivation is based on the intensity of these three things, and that is belief, thoughts, and emotions. And belief is what you choose to believe about the problem, what I think about this problem, right? And what I feel about it. And I'm going to break that down for you. The next four examples are going to be based on chains of events for people that do it for both internal and external reasons. This first one is on the left, upper right left corner. The event is a DUI. Person got a DUI with double the legal limit, which is .16. This is their first time. The beliefs around this is I will end up in jail longer if I don't stop drinking. So evidently this person ended up in jail after that first initial arrest. The thoughts are, I will lose everything if I don't stop drinking. The feelings really come down to fear, right? Fear of losing, fear of pain, fear of financial stressors, so on and so forth. And on the right side to that, you have an example of someone that's doing it for the internal reasons. And I have down, my 15-year-old saw me get drunk and belligerent last weekend. The beliefs around this are, I'm becoming like my father, and I swore I wouldn't allow myself to be like him. That's deep for some people. Some of you listening to this right now that have been through stuff like this growing up, yeah, you will become the person that you never wanted to become like. The thoughts around this are, I'm not an alcoholic, I can stop drinking, right? So this person will make the effort to stop drinking. And the feelings motivating this person's guilt and remorse. Those are very strong and powerful feelings. This next example is someone that's doing it for internal reasons, and you're going to see how this unfolds. While using the stairs at work the other day, or today, I noticed breathing harder than normal. Beliefs around this is no one will like me if I'm fat. Thoughts around this, I can't believe I let myself go this far. I should care more about my health. I like drinking, but I like looking good most. Feelings around this: disappointment, frustration, and anger. Those are powerful. This next example is also someone that's doing it for the internal reasons. It says, lately I find that I avoid going to church as I am self-conscious of whether or not people can smell booze on my breath. The beliefs around this: people will view me as a sinner and a backslider. Thoughts: I should know better. A good reverend shouldn't be drinking this much. Some of you listening probably think a good reverend shouldn't be drinking, period. And I would agree with you. Feelings there of shame and fear, very powerful combination, those two feelings and emotions. And by now you're probably asking the right question, which is, how do you know the difference between the the beliefs and the thoughts? And to answer that, you would have to stick around longer for some of the later episodes where I break this down even more so. But for now, let's move on to the question, which was earlier, which is more difficult: staying sober or getting sober? And before I answer this, I just fish hook you like crazy, right? Is consider these factors. 1, the drug of choice. Is it a substance that has strong physical dependence? Meaning that a person isn't able to stop so easily without experiencing withdrawals. The other factor is the length of use. How long has this person been using? Is it spread out? Is it periodic? Is it sporadic? Or is it daily use? That's going to be a challenge as well. And prior abstinence experiences. This is going to be a determining factor because people have had multiple attempts at sobriety in times past. The answer to this is most people in treatment report staying sober is most challenging, meaning that they've been able to abstain for a significant period, but it's breaking through that second week, that month, that 60 days. Very, very common. People have this taboo number that they can't seem to get past. And there are ways to break through that. The next episode here will cover that so that you can take your sobriety and your recovery to the next level. As always, don't forget to download your free worksheet. You can download as many copies as you want, and be ready for the next episode that's going to cover the worksheet as well. We're going to review it together, but also you'll have another worksheet to complete there. Thank you very much for taking this online podcast class, webinar / everything. Really appreciate the support that you are giving to my Facebook page and my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like the page, follow us, and also follow us on YouTube. I have content there that I have not put on this Facebook page because I did it a while back. It's still very valuable content, but it's going to take me some work to download it and put it onto this here. I have so many more things for you. Until next time, my name is Raul, and I am the Wolf Counselor.